Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Manchester United have completed the loan signing of Jack Butland from Crystal Palace until the end of the season. Jack Butland is Erik ten Hag's first signing of the January transfer window. He's the backup to David De Gea. The reason we've brought Jack Butland in is because not so long ago, Martin Dubravka got his loan terminated. Jack Butland joined Crystal Palace back in 2020. Crystal Palace got him for $1 million. When he officially signed for Crystal Palace, he signed a 3-year contract. He only played 10 games for Crystal Palace. Before, Jack Butland had loan spells with Derby, Leeds, Barnsley, Birmingham. He enjoyed 2 loan spells with Cheltenham, and he has been at Stoke before. So that's the news on him. Now I want to give you some more news on Joao Felix. So Jorge Mendes is accelerating talks over Joao Felix's exit. Manchester United have offered 3.6 million to take Joao Felix on loan until the end of the season. Man United are willing to pay his full wages. But Atletico Madrid have already said that they want 12 or 13 million euros to loan Joao Felix out. So Man United are a good 6.5 million short of Atletico Madrid's asking price. I'd certainly take Joao Felix at Man United. Joao Felix, he's well known for his versatility. He's predominantly a forward, but he can play as a winger and an attacking midfielder. He's been at Atletico Madrid since 2019. Atletico Madrid got him from Benfica for 113 million, the 4th most expensive sum paid in football. He's under contract with Atletico Madrid until 2026. Erik ten Hag has provided us with an update on Jadon Sancho. Erik ten Hag says he will be patient with Jadon Sancho as he awaits his Manchester United return. Jadon Sancho has not played for a while due to lack of fitness. When Sancho does come back though, he may not get in the team that much because, Man United have got a lot of winners. We've got Rashford, we've got Garnacho, Alanga, Anthony. So like I say, Sancho may find it hard to get in. Manchester United got Jadon Sancho from Borussia Dortmund in a deal worth 78 million with add-ons included. Sancho's under contract with the club until 2026. This year, a lot of players are going to depart the club. This year, I can see Tom Heaton leaving, especially with Man United now getting Jack Butland in on loan. Tom Heaton is third choice. At the time we brought Tom Heaton in, though, we brought him in as a backup to De Gea. Man United got Tom Heaton on a free transfer from Aston Villa. I can see Eric Ten Hag getting rid of Dean Henderson permanently. Henderson's on loan with Forest at the moment and he's doing well. Revert back to when Henderson was at Man United, though. He got nowhere near as many opportunities as expected. He was number 2 to De Gea. There was one point though where he actually got given that number 1 jersey. Ten Hag this year will get rid of Telles permanently. He's out on loan with Sevilla at the moment. But revert back to when he was at Man United, didn't play nowhere near as much as he should have done. And even if Telles came back to Man United, he wouldn't get in the team because obviously we've got Luke Shaw, who we can still say he's our first choice left back. Shaw played a couple of games at centre-half. That's only because we had some injuries to our centre-halves. And obviously we've got Terrell Malacia. Ten Hag will get rid of Phil Jones as well this year. He'll get rid of Bailly as well permanently. Bailly at the moment is out on loan with Marseille. Bailly, if he was to come back to Man United, won't get in the team. Because obviously you've got Varane and Lisandro Martinez that are our first choice centre-halves. They made their returns not so long ago. And obviously our backup centre-halves to them is Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof. So Bailly wouldn't get in. I liked Bailly when he was at Manchester United, but, he's injury prone, which is my element of concern. Manchester United signed Eric Bailly from Villarreal back in 2016 for 30 million. I can see Aaron Wan-Bissaka leaving the club this year as well. Bissaka won't get starts now because Diego Dalot has returned. Dalot's just recovered from injury. But Aaron Wan-Bissaka a few weeks ago, it said that West Ham were interested in signing him on loan. Wolves entered the race for him. Leeds inquired about him and I heard he could be making a return to Crystal Palace. Man United got Aaron Wan-Bissaka in a deal worth 50 million from Crystal Palace back in 2019. I think Fred could be leaving the club as well this year. As you all know, I've got my reservations about Fred. Fred is no longer one of Man United's first choice centre midfielders following the arrivals of Casemiro and Christian Eriksen. But despite that, Fred still started games this season alongside Casemiro and he's played alongside Eriksen. Don't forget Fred scored in the 3-0 win against Nottingham Forest. He scored in the 2-0 win against Tottenham. That's his best game by far so far this season. Last year, Man United extended Fred's contract by 1 year. Manchester United got Fred from Shakhtar Donetsk in a deal worth around 50 million back in 2018. So, there you go. And also, Harry Maguire could be on his way out of the club this year. But last year, Ten Hag did get rid of a lot of players. Eric Ten Hag has spent over 200 million so far as Manchester United manager. Last summer, of course, he recommended Terrell Malacia, Christine Eriksen, Lisandro Martinez, Casemiro, Anthony, and he brought Dubravka in. And obviously, recently in this window, brought Jack Butland in on loan from Crystal Palace. You know, Man United are in search for a new striker, but Erik ten Hag recently revealed he won't burn money for a new striker. You know, this window is Erik ten Hag's second transfer window as Man United manager. You know, Erik ten Hag's expectations this season is to get Man United a top 4 finish. Man United are 4th at the moment. You know, joint 3rd with Newcastle. Newcastle are above us on goal difference. If Ten Hag could win a trophy this season, that'd be even better, because Man United have not won a domestic trophy since 2017. You know, this is Erik ten Hag's first full season as Man United manager, so he does need time. You know, revert back to last year, he got named Premier League Manager of the Month. He replaced Rangnick last year. He's Man United's 5th permanent manager since Ferguson. Don't forget, Erik ten Hag was the one that recommended Mitchell van der Gaag and Steve McLaren in. Ten Hag, you know, said quite a few things after the 3-0 win against Bournemouth at Old Trafford. You know, he come out and said that Man United want to play football, not tennis, after Bournemouth win. And Ten Hag mentioned that he was happy with the victory against Bournemouth, but did admit that Man United were lucky at times. You know, reflecting on that win against Bournemouth, it was 7 wins in a row at Old Trafford, and Ten Hag mentioned that Old Trafford can become a fortress. You know, Old Trafford was a fortress under Alex Ferguson. Obviously, the goals against Bournemouth, you know, came from Casemiro, Luke Shaw, and Marcus Rashford. You know, Manchester United have let 5 managers go since Ferguson. Obviously, after Ferguson, we had David Moyes. We let him go after like 9 months, so he only enjoyed a short managerial tenure at the club. After that, we had Louis van Gaal. We sacked him after 2 years. We did win the FA Cup under him. After that, we had Mourinho. We sacked Mourinho after like 2.5 years. Mourinho did enjoy one good season at Man United because he won 3 trophies in his first season. After that, we had Solskjaer. We sacked him in November 2021. He was the Man United manager for almost 3 years. And after that, we had Rangnick. And Rangnick left last year. He was Man United's interim manager for around 5 months. But in the last 10 years or so, Man United have spent over £1 billion. You know, Man United have not won the Premier League since 2013. You know, that's 10 years ago now. Like I've said, you know, Ten Hag, he's doing a good job, and Man United do look a much better team under him. But he's not going to replicate what Ferguson did at the club. Well, no manager's going to replicate what Ferguson did at the club. Alex Ferguson, greatest manager of all time. You know, he brought success to Manchester United. He won 30-odd trophies, including 13 Premier League titles, but he didn't settle in straight away because he didn't win his first 4 years at Man United. Ferguson enjoyed a long managerial tenure. He was at the club for around 26 years. You know, the only mistake Ferguson made was recommending David Moyes when he retired. But the reasons did that is because they're both Scottish, and at that time, Ferguson had a lot of time for Moyes. You know, Ferguson retired, 10 years ago. Obviously, you know the news regarding the Glazers. On the 30th of December of last year, Avram Glazer was spotted in Doha, which is in Qatar. You know, he was trying to sell Manchester United. The club is aimed to be sold by March this year. Towards the end of last year, it said that the Glazers had set an asking price of between 6 billion to 7 billion to sell Man United. Like I said, they've been a massive issue with the club for such a long time, and for such a long time, United fans have been protesting against the Glazers. The Glazers have owned the club for around 17 years. They purchased the club for around 790 million back in 2005. You know, also at the club we got Benny McCarthy, Richard Arnold, John Murtough. Last year, Sir Alex Ferguson came back to Man United in an advisory role. Like I said, we've got Mitchell van der Gag and Steve McClaren at the club. Obviously, Eric Ten Hag is the Man United manager. Yeah. As you all know, tonight, Manchester United play Everton at Old Trafford in the FA Cup third round. It is on ITV. I am expecting Manchester United to win this game because Everton are a very poor outfit at this moment in time. You know, Frank Lampard could be sacked, if Everton lose tonight. Frank Lampard's not good enough to manage Everton. He really, really isn't. He's too inexperienced, doesn't have a proven pedigree. Frank Lampard has been the Everton manager for like a year, got appointed in as the Everton manager back in January last year. He's under contract with Everton until 2024. Before Everton, he managed Chelsea, ended up getting sacked by them, even though he is a Chelsea legend. And before he managed Derby, well, he began his managerial career with Derby. Frank Lampard was the one that replaced Rafa Benitez. Everton sacked Rafa Benitez, was it last season? Before that, they had Carlo Ancelotti. To be honest with you, Everton were very good under him. But obviously, Ancelotti decided to leave Everton and make a return to Madrid. And at one point, they had Duncan Ferguson in as interim manager. Well, he enjoyed around 2 interim spells at Everton. Before that, they had Marco Silva. Weren't good enough, so Everton sacked him. Before then, they had, was it Roberto Martinez? To be honest with you, Everton were very good under him. And a lot of years ago, they had David Moyes. And he was a good manager, even though he didn't win anything. He enjoyed around 11 years or so at Everton. Everton recently lost 4-1 at home to Brighton. Man United did beat Everton at Goodison Park in the league earlier on this season 2-1. I do know players that Everton have got. They've got the likes of Jose Solomon Rondon, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Neil Maupay. Everton signed him from Brighton. Ellis Sims. Anthony Gordon. Anthony Gordon has been out with illness. Damari Gray, Andros Townsend, he's a former Palace player, he's been out with injury. Idrissa Gueye, he's now in his second spell at Everton. Defensive midfielder, at one point he was at PSG. Decore, Everton signed him from, was it Watford? They got James Tarkowski, Dwight McNeil, Connor Cody, former Wolves player. Mason Holgate, defender. They've got Yerry Minna, centre-back. Michael Keane's a centre-back. He's been out with injury. He's a former Man United player. Seamus Coleman's still at Everton. Nathan Patterson, he's recently picked up a knee injury. Ben Godfrey, Everton got him from Norwich. So yeah, there you go. And, the goalkeepers Everton have got, they've got Jordan Pickford, Asmir Begovic, Andy Lonergan, and they've got another goalkeeper as well. Everton, have let players go. They lost Richie Arlington, he went to Tottenham from Everton. They lost Lucas Digne, he went to Villa from Everton. I think he was part of the deal of Everton getting Anwar Ghazi on loan at the time. They lost Andrea Gomez, they lost Alan. So they are a few of the players that Everton have lost. And Man United have done transfer business with Everton before. We revert back to 2017, we got Lukaku off them. 2013 got Fellaini off them. 2004 got Wayne Rooney off them. But Everton, have done transfer business with Man United as well. They signed James Garner last year, and he's been out with injury. I think he's still injured at the moment. Like I said, Michael Keane's a former United player. So yeah. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you with. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel if you do. Consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very soon.